Okay, so we have some very exciting news. It's very exciting news.
It is exciting.
We've decided we are going to take it to the next level. We are going to have memberships.
Oh, yes.
And tiers of memberships.
Tiers of memberships.
Nonetheless, that's right. We're keeping up with it. We're keeping up with the other YouTubers when you want to play with the bulls, you know? So, let me explain to you the tiers and what you'll be getting.
Okay.
$5 tier. All our member chats you'll have access to. You'll get cute cat emojis.
Oh, yes.
If we get around to it.
That's true.
You know,
sometimes it takes time to do
Yeah,
that.
right.
And if we wait long enough.
A viewer will do it if we wait
exactly,
long enough.
Exactly.
So, okay. Then $50. For $50, it's everything from the $5 one, but also you get this fantastic, good vibes only magnet.
Yes, you do.
Magnet.
Magnet.
You get one the first
yes,
month. Okay.
Yes.
And then you may get a Christmas card, this old ratted Christmas card from 3 years ago.
You know, these are vintage and highly collectible. And we have like about 20 of them left, too. I think we maybe
one of you 20
too.
lucky people might actually get a clump of Bandit's fur in yours as a surprise.
Very true. I think that may have
that's so worth it.
Yeah, it is. It is so worth it.
Finally.
And of course, till they run out.
But
anyway.
Neither here nor there. And the $100.
This is
the unconditional Smokey.
Oh, yes.
Everything from $5 and $50. Plus, we will host an hour-long, unrated, uncensored, and unmonetized live about Chantal. For $100.
Oh, yeah, that's great.
And it's not like the usual 3.5-hour lives we usually do.
We're talking like
8 hours, 9 hours.
Oh, yes.
Hours and hours of eating, and sitting, and smoking. It'll be great.
So we can't wait for you to join. Little disclaimer, however, you know, this is if we actually feel like doing it. Because, I mean, you know, I may be tired.
Yeah, every day is Sunday when you're unemployed.
True.
It's hard to get time to start.
It is, but
I think we'll get to it.
Yeah, we probably will.
I'll probably forget by tomorrow.
I might too. Well, we'll see what happens.
Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's out at the moment, and this is SmokeySteveAndMarc. Either welcome or welcome back, and happy Saturday. It is the weekend, but it is the weekend evening, so I will not be having coffee at the moment. I've switched over to, I'm drinking out of Mark's soda. Something a little fizzy. So, I hope everybody is well. I hope everybody's safe. Look after yourselves, look after each other. It's a new year. It's a new day. We'll see what we can do with it. We're all in this together, whether we like it or not. So hopefully we can work something out and live another year, the rest of us. So today we are going to catch up on our fair lady, Chantal, Chantal Marie, Foodie Beauty, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, Chantopolis, Foodie Beauty again. So we're not exactly picking up last week where we left off. Last week we had talked about Chantal in a few roles that I had observed and see how she kind of played those out. Whether she was kind of the victim of circumstance in all of this. Not a popular. A victim, volunteer, or actress. You know, what role was she playing in this? You know, is she showing up for this freely and there's no need to call it anything mildly abusive? Is she showing up for this out of fear of her partner and participating in this kind of YouTube crap? Or is this just all for money between him, her, maybe Dee Dee, who knows? And the timing is right. And they just do one big crap drama once a month, and it makes enough money so that she can go bees and do whatever and make up or break up with whatever his name is. So, talked about that last week. This week, there was a couple points that weren't necessarily connected, but I'm going to bring you back to the Christmas Day video, which she then deleted a bunch, and then we had New Year's, and then up to now, okay? So, I want to talk about her community posts. There being an ass ton of them, which is more telling than actually even the content of them, but we will mention it. She's starting to freak out at French Fry Girl and Shannon again. That came up. A lot of this COVID. She thought she might have had COVID, but told everybody to get fucked. And then she went shopping, and then she came back and thought she had COVID. And always erring on the side of caution. And I have to be honest, at this point, am I as bored with both of them on the channel as I am with just her? You know, for a while it was going into a stream of, well, she'll be back with Nader in a few days and there'll be sparks, lightning, drama. But if it's the same sparks, lightning, and drama, every month or so, then there's not much more to say. And that's either a function of an abusive relationship or bad writing. So I don't really know where to put that. So, where shall we begin? Christmas. Deleted, blocked, and moving on. So she had a fight with Nader around Christmas. She had to interrupt the birth of Christ with this crap. So I know I'm playing catch up from Christmas to now. There was a lot that was deleted. There was, again, community posts that went up and down. She was trying a lot to make people watch without talking about Nader. And she couldn't help herself early on. She was talking about him. So, them being apart and back together now. Back together as of, like, New Year's, I believe it was. Where she was trying to prove that she wasn't there and make sure everyone knows she wasn't, even though Peetz said she wasn't home for the night. I'm not going to go into the cross-provincial restrictions. I'm an American. The Canadian stuff is what the Canadian stuff is. If I lived in Canada, I'd be more up on it. I tend to make it a point not to go out to make other people sick, whether it's COVID or not, because, hey, I don't want to make other people feel sick. So, I don't do that. But so as far as I know, as far as I've seen, with them going from not together to back together, she's just treated poorly, and that just has to have it. She just loves, I hate myself for loving you, like that kind of thing, maybe. They're back together and with Nader and just like poorly trying to hide it though too. Like usually if she's not talking about him, she's hiding it. Because she loves to talk about him. She loves to talk to other people about him. She loves to think about what he's doing and where he's been and who is he with now. She loves to torture herself with sending texts and then counting the minutes until it comes a response. She likes to test people with 4 a.m. phone calls and see if they wake up, because if they really loved her, they would. Chantal has this characteristic where people who care for her and do things for her, she has zero obligation to care for them at all. Chantal has some dollars. Without some money to throw in to show that she's the least bit interested in anything, she offers nothing. Like, do you think Nader would hang out with her and do all this stuff if it wasn't for some money? If it wasn't, I mean, pay for him and his rent? Like, I don't... Just saying. Let's see. He treated her poorly, accused her of more shit. She accused him of being shady. She assumed he's glued to her videos. So in these late night videos where she's talking about him, it's over, it's not happening, I wish you well, you can keep this, you can keep the mantle, you can keep the credenza, you can keep the flat screen, all that kind of stuff. And then she's over it. She's not over it. She's in too deep. And she assumes that he's going to be watching every one of her lives. I think Nader has a little more of a life than Chantal does, though. Not saying what he does in his spare time, because I don't know Nader like that. But I suspect he's not sitting home waiting for her to call him. Only in as much as he may be waiting for her to pick him up and drive him somewhere, or pick him up and pay for something for him, or, all the things that, this is not a unique situation that she's in. It's not a unique situation she's in. She'll say often, is this how he treats everybody? No, he was in jail for stabbing the last one. But you forgave it because he went to anger management and he's a different man. And then 2 days later, you'll say he grabbed your face when he was talking to you. He was so angry that he was ordered by the province to attend classes on how not to freak out. They usually teach it in daycare. You get what you get and you don't get upset. So when men carry on these childlike behaviors way into adulthood and stomp their feet and get mad, and then to acquiesce to that, it doesn't help him. Not that she's his mommy, but she does pay for everything, and she does call the shots. I don't know. So while we're trying to not talk about Nader for a bit, and she tries not to, and she really does, and then she slips and she does and she doesn't, and then where is she? Is she there? Is she not? This is getting as boring. The Nader Chantal content is getting as boring, if not more boring, than the original Chantal content. My kingdom for a mukbang. Please, do something totally disgusting. Put the pink wig back on. And do the cheese board again. That was fun. Aside from the whole mass suicide thing. But otherwise, it was nice. It was uplifting. It was, VIP ass pats, which is what she gets in the chats when she comes on and talks about him. Oh, no man is worth your tears, and if he is the one who did, will never make you cry. This is the kind of inspirational shit I would tell, like, my 16-year-old girlfriends in high school, because I had the girlfriend, and then I would just die the guys, because I wasn't out in high school. It's so juvenile. It's so childish, and I'll get into a minute the back and forth that they're doing with Shannon and French Fry Girl and all that. But, I mean, it goes without saying that I think a lot of people observe that Chantal has some rather childish reactions, behaviors. She gets her emotions get ahead of her and she'll call someone a stupid insult. She'll spend a whole hour and a half fighting, you know. We don't do that. I don't know. We don't do that here. It's just a different way to run a channel. Her channel is not really a reaction channel. It's a content for reaction channel and nothing else. Nobody'd be watching this unless they were going to watch a little more about it somewhere else. Because who'd care? Who'd care? Let's see. The community posts as content. So while there was a lull in communication, Chantal stayed offline and then put up community posts. I think I have maybe 8 of them. There's more, and deleted ones. And this is where she was going off on her high horse, talking about... Who did we go at first? There was days of multiple posts. Some of them were optimistic, some of them were down. Somebody sent her fan art. She put out one that laid out trash about French Fry Girl and Shannon and talked unkindly about them, things that she says were true. She says, you want to talk about me? So were they telling lies about Chantal, or did she reveal did they reveal truth about her, so she revealed truth about them? Because if Chantal's lying about them, I'm just going to assume she's lying too, because she has a way of trying to cover her lies. You immediately deny, and then you start asking what, when, why, who said that. I was probably high. Da-da-da-da-da. The defense starts immediately. I didn't say that. When did I say that? No, I didn't say there was anything wrong with trans people. I just said Nader might have slept with Dee Dee and that Dee Dee might have been trans. I don't know. That dig was rude. It was rude. It was fucking useless too. Shot at trans people? I think she was going for a shot at Nader. I think Nader is probably less tolerant to LGBTQ plus folks. And the fact that she would imply and that he would hear that she thought that he was sleeping with someone who was transgender would probably burst his bubble or make him mad. That was meant to put fire under his ass. For Chantal being not exactly open-minded, she's open enough that she wouldn't, I would think, usually go that low, but she let it go. She put it out there. She was that pissed off and that eager to try to make him look bad. It made her look so bad. She made herself look like trash by doing that. It was a shitty thing to do. She should apologize. But she doesn't. As soon as it's obvious an apology is owed, she won't. Because she'll say, it wasn't rude. Maybe she is transgender. Fuck you. I know exactly what you're doing. You have that slick, rippier wit that a lot of people have. But I do too. And I can smell you being facetious about it. Like right through the camera. As easy as I can smell that new boil, I can smell that coming through the camera. I swear to God. So the community posts, again, were just trying to keep things going while there was no videos going up or staying up. And the community posts would go up and come down. And they followed her strange stream of logic, like posts do. There'll be something like, Happy New Year. And then the next thing will be a picture of her that someone drew, which was rather nice. It had a slim filter on it, too. But I would like to be drawn in my most flattering pose, too. I think I'd like them to, airbrush everything from my shoulders to my knees. Tone it up. I'll put a spank on and then tone that up, too, to make it look a little bit better. But she's attempting to distract from the content and people talking about her. Pretty much. And the content people were trying to distract from a couple times this week was her being thoughtless, being sick, going out shopping to get new clothes. I'm not suggesting it's because she didn't do her laundry and she's just buying new clothes because she's too lazy to wash them. But she would have new clothes without having to wash them if she went to Pennington's. That's all. So she'll do his clothes, though, because God forbid he gets upset, because you know how he gets. He might get his little skinny legs in a knot. So Anyway. Posting the fan art. The new tiers of memberships. We discussed that a little bit. Now, the tiers of memberships, you saw at the beginning. Very tongue-in-cheek, because I think memberships kind of, the way YouTube presents them, I don't think you get very much for a membership. I mean, if the membership's like $1 or $2, whatever. But even $5 if you've got something to show. She charges $5 for her VIBs and does, or for members, and doesn't offer really anything beyond some emoticons, and they can talk in her live chats. And she puts out, this week I saw some comment posts, community posts that were VIB only. Of course they make it out to the rest of us, but they were VIB only. So she's tried to shelter in a safe space within her safe space. So now the channel is not safe. These people are safe. And now that these people aren't safe anymore because the crew of people who were paying to talk to her, not enough of them are off her ass. So she has to create a new higher tier of ass kisser who will pay much money a month for almost nothing. First of all, it won't happen. Second of all, does it surprise me Chantal would have put together a thought out plan that would involve her not making more content, but making more money? No. No, it offers nothing. This new tiers of membership offers like nothing. Nothing. Except you'll pay $30 one month to see what it is and then cancel it. But in that month, she'll make up pretty well. You know? So it can be done. I'm not opposed to memberships. I guess maybe we would have them, but like I said, as it stands, I don't feel like memberships on YouTube offer a whole lot extra to a viewer. They offer money to us, but they don't offer anything extra to you guys. So we haven't pursued it yet. She's gone from pursuing it to mastering in it. And the ultimate master of, I got nothing new, but I'm going to squeeze the last drop of blood out of the kill. Come on. And she drops the names of all the people who come in all the time who will pay $30 a month just to have their names said out loud. They want to buy their way into her clique. There's a very cliquish phenomenon that goes on in Chantal's chat room. There's a few people who are always in with her. Karate Joe, before we found out he was a puffer, was like head of the crew. And then some other people came in and they're like her favorites and she talks with them and you know they super chat her, they don't. And then there's people that come in just to say hello and they get ignored unless they pay a super chat, you know. Community posts all day for a couple days. Now, I said low on content but never short on a new way to make money, which is why we went for those memberships. That's why we're going for memberships. New members charge the current members like VIBs more, so she's not getting new people in. Her subs are going up. She reached the 90,000. Anyone hear that 12-hour live stream playing anywhere? It's been a while. 2 weeks. We're never gonna see this. It'll be New Year's next year, and it'll be like, hey guys, I know I promised you a New Year's video last year, but I've just been so busy and so overwhelmed with what? Editing some dude's video? You know, most people work 40 hours a week full-time when they have a full-time income. I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. I'm saying re-examine the difficulty of your work compared to how exhausting it is to you versus actually exhausting jobs. It's a good fit for her physically because she can't do anything, that she would have a job where she could sit at a phone, a computer, and do that kind of stuff. But don't act like it's more than it is. You know what I mean? Like, research as a YouTuber is watching Natter's videos. Research is digging through Kiwi Farms when you pretend you obviously have no idea what it is or where it is, and finding out the exact people who are talking shit on you and the exact thing they're saying, and then making a video about it. So, you don't need a whole lot of free time to make a channel. At this point, Chantal could make this channel and work 30 hours a week at another job. There's not enough. It's not that there's not enough content or hours of content, but there's not hours of effort going into this. But she's just one of those people. There's other people on YouTube that yank this, and it's not about eating or being obnoxious or denying abuse or defending your abuser or anything like that. It's the people that we watch that we go, they do nothing. Nothing. And they're making more than like most doctors and nurses make. You know? But that's how it goes. People like sick. People like a train wreck. I find it fascinating enough to talk about. You know, I'm in on it. I'm not above any of this. So it's so okay. And a final thing, just to wrap up the tier thing of the viewer thing. There are some folks, and if any of you are like another creator of any size channel, it doesn't matter, big or small. You've probably experienced this, and if you've just had friends growing up, you might have experienced this. Some people really, really, really want a creator's attention. They want their time. They want an investment of their time. They want to be friends. They want to be close. Chantal has 90,000 people on her channel. She's not going to get close probably with too many of them. But for the people that want to be her bestie, for the people that want to be, you know, in her cool inner circle of nacho cheese with chips around the edge, they'll pay it. They'll pay the 30 because they think that that makes them friends and it makes them closer to friends. And it's taking advantage of that kind of relationship that she has with her viewers to manipulate them to pay more than they're already paying now for less. I can't see. I can't do that. And when creators take advantage of that kind of, it's not a, I mean, I like a lot of creators and I want to be their besties too. You know, like I would send a super chat to someone if it meant they could have lunch with me. Sure I would. But that's the dangling carrot. It's the we'll be so close for $30 a month. We'll be so close for $100 a month. For 30 a month, I'll send you some old KFC I had in a drawer that I had for 3 weeks. That'll show you my life. That's probably the best indicator of Chantal's 2021. Fried chicken in a drawer, probably next to some old blunts, burnt down. So, I don't know. So taking advantage of that is not okay. The idea that more money would mean more access to the creator is taking advantage of a relationship that has a power dynamic to it between a creator and an audience. It's withholding yourself only to certain people and only to certain people who pay a certain amount of money. And even that is a trick fuck, because is anyone here who pays $5? If you're a beezer, welcome. Getting any more than you did when she was doing open chats? Are you really getting any more out of her channel than you would be if you paid $30 for it versus $5? No, I don't think so. I mean, use your judgment. It's your money, of course. I find it fascinating that this is how people spend their money, but people probably find it odd that I would spend time doing this too. So that's a matter of perspective. I understand. We don't really experience that a problem on our channel where people would like want to pay a high viewer rate to be closer to Mark and I. We have some pretty emotionally healthy people in our chats. We have a really good set of viewers and subs and lurkers and all of them. They're great. We have people contact us privately by email sometimes, and we try if we can to, you know, respond back to it. I understand she's got way more people than we do. And people have different motives in contacting her. People might comment to us and say, hey, great video, loved it, loved this, loved that. You know, I didn't like it when XYZ happened, but overall, good job, guys, thanks. Something little like that. Something just little and appreciative. Just something. But she wouldn't go for that. She wouldn't go for that. She wouldn't go for that. Where else? What do we got here? Fighting between French Fry Girl, Shannon. You guys know Shannon, Salty Shannon. She pops up time to time on the channel, either in the comments section. She's popped into a couple lives as well. And then Chantal. So I'm still not distracted and haven't forgotten that you tore ass out there and created a super spreader, or thought you did, or may have and not have cared because you had to go to Pennington's because you were out of clean clothes. But like everything, this behavior is also just a distraction. And then she goes into the leap with French Fry Girl and with Shannon and this and that. So while we're not talking about Nader and there's nothing else going on, she's got to fill. And she would talk about him unless he said not to. Because when she's obeying his commands, yes, master, I will not speak of you. I will not speak ill of you. That whole relationship, I mean, I don't know. Whatever helps you sleep at night. So, I don't know French Fry Girl. I honestly don't. I've seen bits and pieces of her videos. Because that style of video is not like my favorite style of video. The long 3 to 4 hour reaction with the reactor doing it live and talking. Some of the shorter ones are okay, like if they're an hour or so, but I'm not. And it's nice to hear other people talk about the person that you know about. It's like kind of like watching a reality show. It's like talking to other people who know about the same characters and are making the same decisions, and you share opinions about what they're doing with their life. There's room for opinions. They call them comments on YouTube. And generally they're set to public by default because most people aren't shady. So they just leave it there. So it's noticeable when someone turns off any assessment of the likability of their site because they don't want to deal with it. It's too much trauma. I can't stand the fact that maybe people didn't like a video I did, or they're upset with me. So I'm going to turn off comments because it's too much stress for me. Well, don't put out bullshit content and people don't come back with stress. You know what I mean? Like, start a fight, get in the middle of it, claim you're the victim in it, and then while it's still going, take 3 steps back and go, I'm rising above this, I'm out of it. You don't get to back out of shit you start. You know? You don't. You don't. And so French Fried Girl, from what I understand, most of her content's about foodie beauty. That's her gig. People do that with reactors. Amber Lynn has a whole crew, you know, and if you do want to start a new channel, and this isn't a shot at French Fried Girl, this is just like generic YouTube advice. If you want to start a channel and get monetized, apparently you have to do one of 2 things. Make an Amber Lynn reaction channel. It'll get big fast, even if it's not very good. And with Natter. Apparently, if you team up with Natter and you can get it to Chantal pretty good, she'll make a channel for you, give you her haters, and you'll have a life. But don't forget that she gave it to you and that she could take it away at any time. Anytime she could take it away. And she'll let you know that, I think, too. She lets him know that. These fights that they get in are the ones that are almost physical. I can hear Chantal saying things to him. I'm not going to repeat them, but I can hear things. I can hear her. He has a bad problem with anger, documented because it was part of his probation, probably to attend anger management. So he's had to go to classes and do things like that. If anyone could use some treatment, it could be her on anger management. She doesn't flip out and punch things. She calls you 55 times, cancels your phone, does all that other stuff. She's givey. I love you, take. And then when it doesn't go her way, I want my stuff back. Not everything, though, because when we make up later, I'll need another thing to go back for. Just clean break. I mean, you're obviously not embarrassed. She's not embarrassed, so I'm not going to say I'm embarrassed for her, because she doesn't seem to care. I have her up here. She doesn't seem to give a shit what she looks like. So, well, let's see. Her whole channel is about the same dude. So, saying French Fried Girl is just talking about Chantal. Well, Chantal only talks about Natter. And now that she's trying to not talk about him more, she's talking about nothing. Was watching a stream, her Christmas stream, at 4 a.m, and she came on and nobody was really there. And she's like, I just don't want to talk about Natter. It was this. He grabbed my face. He grabs her face when they yell. If she minded, she wouldn't go back. There's a lot of differences between her framing herself as an abused person versus Chantal's, wannabe boyfriend treating her poorly and she continues to go to him. There's more to this story than simplifying it as that and immediately making Chantal a victim of the story. Well, obviously she's the woman and she went to go see him and he was violent to her. So of course you have to, believe her and take her at her word. Well, it's a strong accusation to make. But it's not for me to assess, it's for law enforcement, I guess. And if she felt seriously threatened, she would have went, I assume. And she didn't. So she'll corner herself into I feel stuck in this situation, I can't say anything, he's mad at me, I don't know what to do, I don't want to make it... And triangulates all this. This is what keeps her busy all day. This is busy all day. This is what a 15-year-old does on the weekend. Is busy all day. Sleep late, play on my phone, order food, get in a tweeting war, complain about people I don't like, and then get really stoned and film and go to bed. Yeah, maybe if I was like 17, 16, maybe I would do that. Usually grown-ups have lives. Just saying. Chantal describes worthless, she's already swore on dead relatives that she was being honest and was telling the truth and that nothing was a lie. And she even roped him to swearing on his, mother? She's alive. Chantal's paying for her too, isn't she? So they're both already sworn dead relatives. So that makes nobody really reliable here or trustworthy. The character is like not even worth mentioning. Like, you can't weigh any good deed by either of these two to me and have it say it's redeeming. Like, if Chantal brought some toys to a church, for a Christmas drop off, I'd be like, that's lovely. That's lovely. You shouldn't drive high. One does not undo the other. The dangerous behavior she does are primarily ones that are dangerous to other people. Her VIPs care how she's doing. The rest of the people are kind of a little more like ethically, socially, get your drunk ass off the road, get your high ass off the road. And while you're at it, I don't really like you, but don't go out with a guy who's mean. So, to my last point, these are getting a little boring with and without Natter. Because with Natter, here's Natter. He's doing whatever. I know. All right. Yeah. Who's that? Nervous laughter, stuttering. Who is he talking to? What is he doing? All that stuff that goes with it. And that's not interesting. And when she's not with him, she's talking about him. And then there was like several weeks where they were both live at the same time. So seems like this month's hustle. But I think there's bigger things to come. Bigger. There's a bigger bit of drama on its way. I'm sure. I just don't know what yet, but I'm sure it's still coming. That'll make all of this look like nothing. So, with him, it's her live streaming, giggling nervously while he cooks, yells at her and smokes, and mutes the camera so you can't hear anything. Like, if it's just going to be like a podcast, like, just like put the phone down. We don't need to see anything. But if you brought us over to tell your friends secrets in front of us, it's fucking rude. It's really fucking rude. Pick a more convenient time for your viewers, the ones who pay you. Natter is the opposite. Natter is the one who takes. Okay. Viewers give. Natter takes. Do we see the transactions here? Do we see how these go? And do we see how it's so flipped on the opposite of you think you would be grateful for the people who give and upset with the people who take and don't give. And yet the opposite is what's happening right now. She's afforded this lifestyle of periodic depression and misery because she has the time to be miserable because she works from home and doesn't have to leave the house to go work. So she can stay home and do it. She doesn't have to go anywhere. She can order food, and she can order weed, and she can order medicine, and she can order all that stuff. She doesn't have to leave the house at all. His dancing. Okay, I danced last week. And I was trying to dance like Natter. I didn't know the moves. I was guessing and I was going with some of the music. With those moves, I bet he was popular in jail. I bet he was. Especially, who wants... I got 2 desserts for a Natter here. Who wants it? 2 sweets. 2 cinnamon rolls. 2 ramen. Shake it, shake it. So without Natter, the videos are boring too. She's in his car, bitching, circling the neighborhood, blaming reactors for her choices. Like the Dee Dee thing. Okay, talking about Dee Dee, the girl who came and Chantal blew her shit up and ruined that whole experience for everybody involved. Of him having a visitor. Just like, you're going to begrudge him friends. And if you're worried about what he's doing, it's because you know what he's doing. And you'll accept any dumb excuse because she wants him back. So, none of this is news. She thinks this is the most unique situation ever. Ever. That it needs like a whole hour on forensic files. This isn't news. This isn't special. This is unfortunate, but it's not really newsworthy either. That's why it's only happening in the gossip sections of chats. The idea of Chantal being actually hurt and abused by Natter it's slipping a little bit because she had such a level of dishonesty revealed over the last couple months that it's like, hey, you found this guy, you dragged him on the internet, showed his business to everyone, talked shit up and down on him, and your excuse was, I was mad. What are you, 5? I was mad. Grow up. That's a stern voice. That's not a I know better than you voice, because I'm 2 years older and I don't know that much more. But I know when to shut the fuck up and leave a bad relationship. That I know how to do. Because it's, sometimes you feel like, well, at least I'm in a relationship and I'm not alone. Even though I feel lousy, I'm not alone. She'd feel better if this was over. She would. Get her a nice simp, like, Peetz. Another, maybe BB. BB seemed nice too. I don't know. When she talked about Dee Dee being trans, though, that bothered me, because she had said in the chat, I don't know, I thought Dee Dee might be trans. Didn't you? I'm not saying she was. It's not an insult. I just thought maybe she was. I know exactly what you're talking about, and exactly how you're trying to be slick. And shut up, it's not funny. I think that was more of a shot at Nader, actually, because if Wynn got that Nader was spending 3 days intimate company with someone who was trans, I think Nader would not like that to be circulating for his own reasons. So she was being sly with it. She was trying to make it a dig without making it a dig, because it's not cool to make fun of people for that kind of thing. So she didn't. She backed it up and said maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Another one of those, I'm going to create a problem and then step away from it like I had nothing to do with it sort of things. Let's see. So, where do we go? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Well, you guys aren't going to be getting the $99.99 member chat that we're going to be offering, unfortunately. I don't feel too good about putting it up. As far as her and Nader, this pattern is this pattern is this pattern over and over. Or they get together, she can't talk about the relationship because it's so good. And then they get together and she can't talk about it because it's so bad. And then when she's mad, she throws a tantrum and she talks online. Chantal is another name that's working its way around the community, because she has very little control over her feelings. And that's not a crime. That's not a moral issue. But what she does to cope with her feelings sends her in directions that are lousy. Okay, I can't cope with my jealousy, so I stay up all night and think. Okay, that's something that happens. A lot of people do that. I can't cope with my jealousy, so I'm going to park my car in front of your house in the middle of the night. That's different. You can't put all that under one umbrella. When we go from I didn't lie. Okay, maybe I lied. You never lied? Everybody lies. She puts everything through this test of, since everybody else does it, or she thinks they do, that she can do it too. Or that it's okay to do, also. She doesn't have much of a moral compass outside of her own instincts of whatever she wants right now, and will have right now. So, that'll continue. Kind of hope Nader's back around. I didn't like him at first, but now that it seems like she's in on it, it's like, hey, who cares? I could use another dancing video. Maybe she'll join again. So, thank you all for watching. Our first new, that was New Year's Day was the video that we did. Well, welcome to the new year. Welcome to the new year with Chantal. We will see where things will go this time next year. I don't know about Nader still being around this time next year. I'm not too sure. I'm not too crazy about their relationship, but also it's interesting to watch. It's interesting to watch her play out these roles in these different ways, and the length she'll go to keep him, or to keep him around, to keep this one under thumb while this one is having fun with me, while those two are talking, while this, and then we're making a video, and I tell him they're talking about him, so he'll get mad, and I only show him these texts, so he'll only that. Don't show him the one where she was stalking him. I'm speechless. We'll see. We'll see. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. You'll be here for it too. And I switched to notebooks from legal pads too, because I was running out of legal pads. So we'll see. We'll see. But to summarize, tiers of membership like that are stupid, at least at the moment. I don't think you can get enough for them from YouTube, Chantal, anybody. I just think that the memberships at that level are kind of dumb. At least for a channel like hers or like ours, where we don't we're just talking to you. You want $30 to talk to me? I should put a plaque outside the door. Psychiatry 5 cents, like they did in Peanuts. So, we'll see. It's usually Sunday, Monday when something tragic happens. Dramatic. She'll be driving. Long road. I need to bees. Blah, blah, blah. I'm just waiting for the next train wreck. They're still cleaning up the last one. She's crying in this video. I don't even know how old it is. Doesn't matter. Thank you for watching. Once again, I'll be here next week. Please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you get alerts when we have new videos and when we're live. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram. Our email address and contact info is below as well. Thank you again, and we will be going live tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern. It's very chill. It's open chat. Usually Foodie Beauty comes up, but some other folks do too. We have good mods. It's cool. So if you're free, do feel free to stop by. Thanks for watching. Bye. Say bye, Mark.
Bye, everybody!
He was here.